Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitya Gaura Haripa, 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 Haripa. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribhajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki, Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivadi Gaura Bhakta Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Padanuka Ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Nittai Gaura Premanande. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from talk is in English. Reading from Adi Lila chapter 4 text. Hladini Karaya Krishne Ananda Swadana Hladini Radwara Kare Bhakti Reposhana. The Hladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his. Purport Srila Jiva Goswami has elaborately discussed the Hladini potency in his Preeti Sandarbha. He says that the Vedas clearly state only devotional service can lead one to the personality of God. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted by devotional service, and as such, the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge rests in knowing the science. What is the particular attraction that makes the Supreme Lord enthusiastic to devotional service? What is the nature of such service? Vedic scriptures inform us that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is self sufficient and that Maya and nescience can never influence him. Therefore, the potency that overcomes the Supreme must be purely spiritual. Such a potency cannot be anything of the material manifest. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be of material composition, like the impersonalist conception of the bliss of Brahman. Devotional service is reciprocation between two, and therefore it cannot be located simply within one's. Therefore, the bliss of self-realization, Brahmananda, cannot be equated with. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three kinds of internal potency: Hladini Shakti or pleasure potency, Sandhini Shakti or existential potency, and Samvit Shakti or cognitive potency. Vishnu Purana, Lord is addressed as follows: O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes, Hladini, Sandhini, and Samvit, exist as one spiritual energy. The material modes, cause happiness, misery, and mixtures of the two do not exist, have no quality. Hladini is a personal manifestation of the blissfulness of the Supreme, by which he enjoys pleasure. Because the pleasure potency is perpetually present in the Supreme Lord, the theory of the impersonal appears in the material mode of goodness cannot be. The impersonalist conclusion is against the Vedic version of God possesses. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by a person of a divine, that manifestation is called love of God. Love of God is an epithet for the pleasure potency of God. Therefore, devotional service reciprocated between the Lord and his devotee is an exhibition of the transcendental potency. The potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that always enriches him with transcendental bliss is not material. The Shankarites have accepted it as such because they are ignorant of the identity and his pleasure potency. Those ignorant persons cannot understand the distinction between impersonal spiritual, the variegatedness of the spiritual pleasure potency. The Hladini potency gives the Lord all pleasure, and the Lord bestows such potency on pure devotee. Sachitananda Purna Krishnera Swarupa Eka Yichakti Tandradhare Tina Rupa. Lord Krishna's body is eternal, Sat, full of knowledge, is one spiritual energy manifest. Anandam She Hladini Sadam She Sandhini Chidam Se Samvid Yara Jnana Korimani. Hladini, the aspect of bliss, Sandhini of eternal organisms, also accepted as knowledge. Hladini Sandhini Samvid Tvayi Eka Sarva Samstito Padatapa Kori Mishra Tvayina Gune Varjit. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes, Hladini, Sandhini, Samvid, one spiritual and material modes which cause happiness, of the two, not exist, have no real quality. The essential portion of the Sandhini potency is Shuddha Sattva, Lord Krishna's existence, justice. Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, things, seats, and so on are transformations of the Sattva. The condition of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, in which the Supreme Personality of God is filled with, is called Vasudeva. In that pure state, the Supreme Godhead is beyond the material sense and who is known as Vasudeva is perceived by my mind. The essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge, and that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. All other kinds of knowledge, such as knowledge of Brahman, the essence of the Hladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is emotion, bhava, and the development of emotions, mahabhava. Mahabhava Swarupa Shri Radha Thakurani Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Shri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhava. She is the repository of all good qualities and the first jewel among all the lovely sorts of. Tayorapi Ubayor Madhye Radhika Sarvatadhika Mahabhava Swarupeyam Gunir Ativariyashri. Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is the embodiment of Mahabhava and Krishna Prema Bhavitayanra Chitendriya Kaya Krishna Nija Shakti Radha Kridara Sahaya. Our mind, senses and body are steeped in love for Krishna. That is Krishna's own. Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayapakada Mahyam Dattva Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desh Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimati Radharani ki Radhastami Mahotsav ki Nittai Gaura Premanande. So, speak a little bit in English today, and in the afternoon I'll speak in Tamil. We'll focus a little bit on the Tattva of Radharani. In the afternoon maybe we'll add some. Actually, Radharani and Krishna for this puzzle all material means can never understand. Krishna himself cannot be understood. Mudhoyam nabhijanati lokomam ajamavyayam. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, fools and rascals will not understand. Maya javanikka channam ajñādokshajamavyayam. Nalakshayase mudhadrisha nato natyadharo yata. Even Kunti Devi in the Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, you are covered by a curtain of Maya. Mudhas cannot see you. They will not understand you. They will not know you. So, only Bhaktya mam abhijanati, only by devotion can you understand me. So Krishna himself is very difficult to understand. And we are all in a position where we don't understand we are not the body also. We think we are the body, and this is material life. And material life means you think you are the body. In that condition, we are trying to first have self-realization. Who am I? Then we are trying to understand the instructions of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, I am the Supreme Lord. By devotional service, you can understand. So you will not find any mention about many other things, because first of all, you cannot clear even this. You can't understand that I am not the body. What to speak of understanding? What to speak of understanding Radharani? So this is our status. So we are. That is why all great acharyas did not speak about exotic bhakti matters to common populace. For us, mostly in the material world, we should understand first you are not the body. Start understanding your spirit and then start spiritual activity. Then gradually only one can understand other things. The first thing to know. Because if you try to understand things which are beyond your understanding, you will speculate, you will do wrong things, may even do offensive things. That is the reason why there are some people called sahajiyas. Sahajam means making it very ordinary and common. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api nat tyajet sarvarambahi doshena dhumena agnirivavrata. Krishna is also telling in the Bhagavad Gita that in this material world these doshas are common. Sahajam, making things ordinary. Anything transcendental, bring it and making it ordinary. So there are people who are sahajiyas. They try to understand Krishna and Radharani and pastimes and Rasalila, and they make it very, very cheap, very low, bring it down. They themselves try to act like gopis, all that. This is the danger of trying to understand topics that are beyond. Even Shukadeva Goswami never spoke anything about Radharani. Whole Bhagavatam actually is about love of Radharani for Krishna. And that is showcased in the 10th canto, 90 chapters. In that, Prabhupada explains the Rasa Leela is the topmost pastime and deep understanding of Krishna. But for going to the 10th canto, you go from the first canto onwards, become mature, then only you can understand Vrindavan Leela. Otherwise, you will think that is also ordinary. Right? So there, even Shukadeva Goswami, Anaya Aradhito, he is indirectly mentioning about Radharani. He never speaks about anything else. There is one gopi who is very exceptional in the way she worships Krishna and serves Krishna, mentions about. So, today is Radhastami. We should know something about who is Radharani. And although very confidential, the Vedic scripture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna, he himself comes in the mood of Radharani and glorifies Radharani's Bhakti, Braja Bhakti, all the gopis Bhakti. In this way, we come to know about Radha. One who is tasted a little bit of Bhakti, little bit of devotion by doing devotional service, he will have an eagerness to understand how is pure devotional service rendered. Is there something like that at all to convince us there is pure devotion, 100% pure, with no mixture of any sort? That we can understand by hearing pastimes of Radharani, pastimes of the gopis. For that we should understand some Tattva. Who is Krishna? Krishna is revealing himself in Bhagavad Gita officially. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is revealing himself officially. that I am the Supreme Lord, that these are all my energies. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Yogamaya, God's internal energy, is explaining himself, is explaining his energies, is explaining the world, is explaining how conditioned souls are situated inside, how you can liberate yourself with pure devotions. Bhakti Marga. He's explaining this. As the teacher explains in the class, academically, he explains. Little bit inside, he also comes out and says that actually, I have a relationship with you. Oh. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam guru mameveshasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. In the 9th chapter, he opens up. Before that, he gives hints like that. Here and there, he opens up. But since Arjuna has asked some technical questions, he is answering them for all. But in the Bhagavatam, you will see Sukadeva Goswami is speaking all the wonderful aspects of his devotees. But he doesn't mention much about Radharani, Gopis. When you go to the 10th canto alone, you will read a little bit. But by reading the Bhagavatam and understanding it from our Acharyas, the Gaudiya Vaishnava, we can come to know there is a lot of things involved in the 10th canto, in stories of Krishna, especially the Vrindavan. And that is explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That the Bhagavatam actually is pointing towards the love of Radharani for Krishna. Not directly mentioning. Parokshavad vedoyam bhalana manusashanam karma mokshaya karmani vidagde agatam yata. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that indirect explanation is what is being done. Parokshavadam, not directly. And only devotees who in Lord Chaitanya's can actually understand this by his blessing. So it's Lord Chaitanya who made understanding of Radharani possible. And it is Lord Chaitanya's blessing. Why? Because he is in the mood of Radharani. Radha Bhava Subalita. Naumi Krishna Swarupam. That same Krishna has come in the mood of Radharani. So it's by the blessings of Lord Chaitanya, the blessings of all the great Acharyas, Swamis, all of them together, that whatever Lord Chaitanya revealed, they documented and understand what is the meaning of Radharani. Here we read that Radharani can be explained only in terms of bhakti and love of God. Cannot be explained like we understand Bhagavad Gita, material world, the matter, in terms of matter, what is spirit, and you are spirit, soul, like that, very low level, very basic understanding. If you want to understand Radharani, you can understand only through bhakti. You must understand what is bhakti, love of God, prema, then only you can understand. We read that here now. It's mentioned here that love of Godhead means bhava. Love of Godhead, prema, is read. The meaning of love of Godhead, prema, means what? That love of Godhead is the characteristic of that love of Godhead is actually bhava. Bhava means ecstatic emotion. We don't even know, we don't even hear about it. We don't, in the material world, we don't know anything about these things. So here it is explained that love of God and prema, the essential ingredient of that is bhava, emotion, transcendental sentiment, emotion of love for Krishna. And that bhava attains its topmost level in Mahabhava. And Radharani is a personification of that Mahabhava. This is very technical. Topmost pleasure, Mahabhava. She is in association with Krishna, in for Krishna. That is why Krishna himself becomes ruled and controlled by Radharani because of the love of Radharani for. This is 100% pure love. That is why people in the material world, all of us who are controlled by lust, can never understand that. Not so easy. So, Mahabhava manifestation, Radharani, she gives the maximum, topmost pleasure. She is designed for that, made for that, out of the Hladini potency, pleasure potency. And it's described that she manifested herself from Krishna's own body when Krishna desired to have topmost enjoyment. If Krishna desires to have gratification, if he wants to enjoy, then what level it will be? That type of enjoyment. And this is not material enjoyment, it's not material sense gratification. It is gratification of the highest order, pleasure, bliss, happiness. Only Radharani can give Krishna. And because she only can give Krishna, it is very high order. She also has to have those qualities and qualifications. So she is manifested like that with wonderful, amazing qualities to serve Krishna and give him pleasure. And seeing that, experiencing that, Krishna himself becomes amazingly captured by Radharani. That's why she's called Madana Mohana Mohini. Krishna is called Madana Mohan. Even the Cupids all together, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Sobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bajami. Millions and millions of Cupids, Kamadevas together cannot even sustain the beauty of Krishna. They become bewildered seeing Krishna's beauty. But Radharani's beauty even bewilders Krishna. Radharani's qualities, his beauty bewilders even Krishna. So she is called Madana Mohana Mohini. One who bewilders even Krishna. So you can imagine her qualities, how it will be. That Radharani appearance. You may wonder where is appearance for Radharani? She eternally manifest. When he appeared in this material world. Avatari, when he made his appearance. That time, he also said, Radharani also should come. Radharani said that from Goloka, I don't come anywhere. The Yamuna, the Govardhan, the Gopis, all of them together. I will live only with them. If they come, I will also come. So Krishna decided everybody come, including Goloka. The whole Vrindavana manifested itself. Today you can see Bhauma Vrindavana in the material world Vrindavana. That is why it's such an important place. Radharani's place. Radharani is called the queen of Braja, Brajeshwari. In fact, there is a pastime, she is installed as queen, Maharani. So if you go to Vrindavan, Maharani ki jai, Radharani ki jai, they will sing today. She is the Maharani. She is the queen of Vrindavana. Story that all the Gopas got together and put Krishna as the king. He is the king of Raja. Anta Maharaj is the king. Naturally, he is the prince. He'll become the king of Raja. And he is the most important. But the gopis all got together and say, but Radharani is the greatest controller of this king. She is greater than him. She only is queen. Queen is greater in Vrindavana than the king. So there's a place called Umrao. There, Radharani, Umrao means queen on the throne. There, Radharani got installed as the queen in a big asana. And Vishaka, Lalita was sitting next to her as a minister of the queen. Vishaka was fanning her, somebody was holding her umbrella, and all the citizens, all the gopis were sitting. He was addressing them. Place called Umrao. And then she will order, go bring that fellow making too much noise. That mischievous Madhumangala. I heard that he is making too many comments. Madhumangala is one of the Gopas. So all the gopis will go with flower sticks and they will go in a big horde, thousands of gopis together. Go capture this Madhumangala, tie him up with a flower rope and bring him. And Madhumangala will be asked, what did you say? Why did you say? Finally, they will find that, tell us something, what do you want? He will say, something to eat. So he'll be released. They will tell that this fellow is just a gluttonous Brahmana. He just wants to eat. Give him laddus and leave him. And he will go back to Krishna and say, my gosh, she is installed as queen. You are a nobody, queen, king. You are thinking you are great. Gopas, she is the queen. Then all the Gopas along with Krishna and Sridhama and all of them, they will come on an attack to Umrao, saying, who became queen without asking me? Sweet pastime takes place. And all the Gopas and Krishna come. Krishna becomes overwhelmed by seeing Radharani so beautifully sitting on the asana. Thousands of gopis worshipping. He immediately surrenders to Radharani. In fact, all the gopis will say, surrender. And he will happily surrender. There are more details about this pastime. That Krishna will be given a position. He'll get a very small rank. And he will happily accept. That is, even Krishna submits to Radharani. Love rules supreme. Whoever has the greatest love for Krishna, he becomes the controller. Even Krishna. Everybody is controlled by love of Krishna. Even Krishna becomes controlled by Bhakti. Bhaktya, very nicely mentioned. So this world in Goloka Vrindavan is completely topsy-turvy opposite. In the material world, we say, Urdhvamulam adashakam svattam prahurabhyayam chandamsi yasya paranani yastam vedasa. You will read that in 15th chapter, that this world is upside down and the real world is the spiritual world. Goloka Vrindavana. In that, we can understand that everything goes by love of Krishna. The whole place is ruled by love of Krishna. It's all about prema. And this is what living entities in this world want. all of us want to be loved and to be able to love. In the spiritual world, you'll get that perfection, especially in Goloka, in Vaikuntha. You will be fulfilled. Yayatma suprasiddhati. Completely happy. One thing is to be happy materially. Other thing is to be fulfilled. Appa. That's why Bhakti's example is like eating. Tushti pushti kshud apaya, mentioned in the Bhagavatam. The soul is always disturbed in the material. Sada samudvigna mana asat grihat. Always disturbed because it is like a fish out of water. Requires to be inside the water. And since we are disconnected from our element, disconnected from Krishna, disconnected from love, and we are doing right opposite, grappling with matter, falsely thinking matter is going to give us happiness, and trying to get some so-called happiness, which is an illusion, which is cheating. What the soul really needs is love. The spiritual world is made of love. And out of every planet in the Vaikuntha, the topmost is Goloka. In Goloka, you will see 100% pure love. Ruling. That is why Krishna surrenders even to Radharani. And Radharani and Krishna, their pastimes in pure love, that's why it can never be seen by us in a mundane way. Very dangerous for your spiritual life if you try to understand this, and invariably our lust will come in between and we will spoil the whole understanding. However, today is Radhastami. We are understanding that Radharani, the gopis and Krishna, God, Supreme Personality of Godhead, absolute truth, is a person. He is capable of unlimited love. And he is inviting everybody for a love affair with him. Bhagavad Gita is about love affair. It's a love story. Bhagavatam is full of love stories of the Lord with his devotees. And the 10th canto is about supreme love of the gopis and Radharani with Krishna. That is a reality. It is not a story. It's actually happening right now while we are sitting here and thinking about matter in the material world. Continuously, there are devotees of the Lord enjoying devotional pleasure, serving Krishna, exchanging loving devotional service with Krishna. This is the amazing explanation of the reality given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his philosophy. Chintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. How to understand the Supreme Lord? How to understand our position? Who are we? What are we doing here? What is the meaning and purpose of life? So today is that day when we can actually access Supreme Radharani. And Prabhupada mentioned to us that she is very kind, very, very merciful. And you can get to Srimati Radharani only by her mercy. Get to Krishna only through Radharani's mercy. So Prabhupada mentioned to us that Radharani is very, very kind, very, very merciful. And if you appeal to her for pure devotion, acceptance by Krishna, having an opportunity to render service to Krishna, she will grant it. And if she grants it, Krishna immediately accepts. She is very merciful. And Krishna is a love for Krishna can be available and accepted through her. So today is a day when we can sincerely pay for pure devotional service. Srimati Radharani. And how much sincere we are, to that extent, we will also get reciprocation from Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada is explained that if Radharani recommends, Krishna will immediately accept. Whoever it is. Whoever it is. And she is very, very kind, very merciful. You have a nice story. So many stories of Radharani's. We must actually understand what is the meaning of Bhakti. And then we can understand who is Radharani. Only in terms of Bhakti, devotion can we understand Radha. Radharani is filled with thoughts. In Krishna, full Krishna conscious. Not just thoughts. Thoughts are, you can say, on the mental plane. Consciousness of Krishna. Made of Krishna Mayi. She's made of Krishna consciousness. Fully. You can imagine what it means. Constantly absorbed. So today is the highest epitome. Love of Krishna, Adini Shakti. Rani is in state. She appeared to Rishabhanu and Kirtidas. And they performed so many austerities. Discussed. And she appeared to them most beautiful. Radharani. She was looking blind when not open her eyes. So, although looking so beautiful, golden complexion, it's mentioned that her eyes were not opened. They were wondering, father and mother, and Narada Muni sits home. All this is described. Actually, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda come to the home of Kirtida Sundari, hearing that she has got wonderful looking. Krishna appears there, very small. And he, while Nanda Maharaj and Rishabhanu Maharaj are both the kings, Kirtida and Yashoda are also. Krishna crawls up, goes to the small room. Radharani is there, climbs up the cradle and touches her eyes. Immediately opens her eyes. First person she sees is Krishna. That is why she never opened up. She is Krishnamayi. You cannot see anybody else, anything else. And Krishna came. As soon as Krishna came, I stopped. Srimati Radharani ki, Radhastami Mahotsavam ki, Nittai Guru Premanande. So we will discuss more in the afternoon.